Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wong is Right on Movies. I'm Wong, and with me is Mike.
Yo, what's good?
What's good, man?
So much.
This is our first podcast episode.
The train wreck, the pilot episode.
Yeah, pretty much the train wreck. Yeah, but you know what? You work with what you got, right? But we decided for our first episode, we're gonna do a movie that we both enjoy immensely. This is probably one of our favorite episodes. Oh, not episodes. Favorite movie of all time. The movie is called Hot Fuzz. And here's the funny thing. When I told my friends about this, oh yeah, we're doing Hot Fuzz. What the fuck is Hot Fuzz? Because the name doesn't sound...
anything.
Yeah, it sounds...
like a porn.
Yeah, it sounds like an adult movie, right? But it's not. But we are doing our first episode, and it's called Hot Fuzz. It's a British movie directed by Edgar Wright, and it was released in 2008. So stick around, and we'll get right back to it.
Hey guys, so being that everyone's new here, this is our first podcast episode. How the structure really works is we're gonna just talk about the movie vaguely without any spoilers, and then we'll give you 3-second warning for you guys to stop the podcast, and then we'll go into spoiler territory. If you haven't seen Hot Fuzz, you can stop right now, go watch the movie. Awesome movie. Come back and then join us. So Freddie, where do you want to begin?
Well, let's talk about what the movie's about, really, right? Because that's what we're all here for. That's the point of this podcast, is we want to recommend movies that are that we thought are amazing, that we think are amazing, right?
Furry dildos is what this movie is about.
Yeah. God, I think this could be our first and last podcast after this, man.
Well, not many people know the terminology of fuzz.
Yeah,
right?
well, yeah, the term the fuzz, it's pretty much British slang for the police. So the Brits would say, oh, here come the fuzz. It means the police. That's why it's called Hot Fuzz, because this is a British movie. But if you don't know that lingo, you're gonna think, why is this called Hot Fuzz? But basically, Hot Fuzz came out in 2008. It's directed by Edgar Wright. And for those of you who don't know who Edgar Wright is, he's the one that directed Shaun of the Dead, The Last Night in Soho, right? He did a lot of amazing movies. And then he did this one here. Hot Fuzz is his second movie. And then he did the third one, which is called World's End, which is part of the Cornetto trilogy. Did you know about that? The Cornetto trilogy?
Dude, I just watch movies. I'm a consumer.
Well, I guess I'm the one that's full of all the useless info. So I'll be breaking that down.
I guess knowing your director is one thing, right?
Yeah, obviously. So I think I'll be doing most of the talking when it comes to this shit. But they called it the Cornetto trilogy because in each movie they have a different flavor Cornetto that they eat in each one. So in the first one, they had the strawberry flavored one, which is red, and it's to signify Shaun of the Dead's a zombie movie, right? So the red was to signify the blood and gore. And then the second one, they eat the original flavor, which is blue, and the boys in blue, police, right? And then in the third one, it's green, the mint cornetto, and that's because World's End is about aliens, so it's the little green men. That is the only reason why it's called that. Edgar Wright and them just decided, hey, it works.
That World's End fucked me up. I didn't know it was about aliens. We'll get to that later when we start talking about it, man. That movie fucked me up.
What do you mean it fucked you up? How did that fuck you up?
I just watched it purely because it was on Netflix and I didn't know it was about aliens. I thought the premise was about middle age and getting over that hump, and then suddenly aliens. I'm like, what?
Well, it's about both. Yeah. It is about midlife crisis and living your trying to go back to your glory days as a kid and stuff, but it has the aliens in it.
This is just the alien part that just fucked me up. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's true. Well, if you never saw the preview, then you won't know it's about fucking aliens. But no, but back to Hot Fuzz. It's we're totally off tangent here. So Hot Fuzz is an action comedy. So it's centered around a cop. His name is Nicholas Angel, which is played by Simon Pegg. You know who Simon Pegg is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure. And for those of you who don't know who Simon Pegg is...
He's that black guy, right?
Nah, dude, he's an Asian guy, man. Get it right. No, Simon Pegg is a British actor, and it stars him, and it also stars Nick Frost. And those are they're a comedic duo. They did all the Cornetto trilogies together. And so this one here, Hot Fuzz, is the second in that trilogy. But in my opinion, I think Hot Fuzz is the best one out of the three. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think is better?
I think so. I agree with that. I really like Shaun of the Dead. That's like a classic. But
Yeah,
I
it
like
is.
Hot Fuzz a little bit.
Yeah, I loved Shaun of the Dead. Like, I thought it was amazing. The only reason why I saw that movie was because of the title. I was like, well, Shaun of the Dead, this sounds awesome. I'm definitely going to watch this. But Hot Fuzz is just on a whole nother level, because we'll just break down the storyline first, because, you know, we've been talking for like 10 minutes and we've gone nowhere with this. But basically, Hot Fuzz is about a super cop. His name is Nicholas Angel. So he's like a by-the-book cop, right? So he's always playing by the rules. He's like the best cop in London. He's like too good at his job. He's so good, in fact, that his superiors, like his chief inspector and all the people above him, they want to transfer him because he's too good and he's making the rest of the cops look bad. So they want to transfer him. And they transfer him to this like boony town out in like hours away from London. Right?
The bayous.
Yeah. But it's a place called Sanford. That's where he gets transferred to. And then it's a very peaceful town. It's, you know, it's like your little rustic town. So it's like all these, you know, there's like nothing going on there. So he goes from London, like stopping crime and, you know, all these major crimes, to like shoplifters and like just petty crime like that. And so for him, it's just like a boring ass job. So basically what happens is like, so he goes there, that he gets transferred there, and then he's just, you know, it looks like he's trying to like find crime so he can be of use, but it's just a dead town that no one even knows. Like, there's nothing going on there. There's no crime, no murders, nothing, right? Because he meets the citizens there and just like, there's nothing to offer. But here's the thing about his character is that he's just so by the book that his personal relationships suffer. He has no intimate relationships with people. He just broke up with his girlfriend and he's moving to this town because he just can't switch off. That's what they say, right? Can't switch off because he's always about the job. But that's when he meets his partner, which is played by Nick Frost. His name is Danny Butterman. And he's hilarious because he plays this lazy, out of shape cop.
He's
Yeah, he's you.
He's me, just in like uniform, cop uniform.
Yeah,
eating ice cream and cakes.
He's pretty much both of us. But Danny, he's like the exact opposite of Nicholas, right? But because he lives in this town, he's a cop in this town, there's nothing happening, so he's always bored, he's just lazy and stuff like that. So that's what this movie is about. It's about this cop that goes to this town, and then things start happening in the town, right? Things start getting messed up. There's like deaths that happen and stuff like that, so there's obviously something going on. So everyone thinks they're all accidents, but Nicholas Angel knows there's something bigger conspiracy, bigger thing going on. So that's pretty much the plot of it, without spoiling anything of Hot Fuzz. But anyways, yeah, back to the actual reason why you're listening to this podcast, the whole two people that are actually listening to this. Basically, this movie was released in 2007. Sorry, I said 2008 earlier. It's actually 2007. The reason why I love this movie is because I think it's probably one of the most tightly written scripts I've ever seen. Like, the reason why I say that is because of just how everything pays off in this movie. Do you notice that? Like,
I agree.
It's like
everything comes full circle. Everything always comes. Writing's tight.
Yeah, like they'll play a joke at the beginning, and it won't play off. That joke won't play off. Like the punchline won't be until like the end of the movie.
Yeah,
right.
There's no like fall away gags.
Yeah, there's no like
fade.
Yeah,
like
there's
one-liners.
Yeah, there's no wasted dialogue. There's no like wasted like even like the props, like stuff that they like use, like the guns and stuff like that.
I remember when I was talking about when we were watching it, the tags on the guns they left.
Yeah,
such good like detail.
Yeah, there's just all this detail. It's such a tightly written script, and it's like the payoffs are amazing from the jokes. And here's the thing: when you watch this movie more than once, because you're not going to get everything at the first viewing, you're not going to catch everything, right? You'll catch it like the second, third, fourth, fifth viewing. You'll catch more and more jokes. You're like, oh, I didn't even notice that.
Right.
Because I've watched this movie, I don't know, like 20 times, and probably more. But this is why, like, when I say my favorite movies, it's movies that you can keep watching and it'll never get old.
Yeah, man. When I used to have cable, if this ever popped up at like Channel 40 on Spike or whatever, I'd be watching this on the just background. Such a good movie.
Exactly, right? So, well, how about you? What other reasons do you like this movie?
Oh, dude, the grocery store owner, I can't remember the actor's name.
Oh, Timothy Dalton, yeah.
Yeah,
so,
he killed it. He's
he's
my favorite person in that movie.
If we're going into the actual like other supporting characters in this, there's a slew of amazing British actors in this movie. Like Mike said Timothy Dalton. If you don't know who Timothy Dalton is, you should Google it, because Timothy Dalton he was James Bond for about 3 movies, and he is, yeah, you're right. He kills it in this movie.
He fucking kills it.
Like, man, he is the guy that you just like. They put him in there as that plant, where it's like, this guy has to be a villain. You know, like they don't even like sugarcoat it. It's
They don't
like,
shy away from it.
It's like, I'm the villain.
The ambient music.
But then at the same time, you're thinking, are they just doing this just to make you think he's the villain, just the way that's his character is, or he actually is the villain? You don't know.
The only way
like,
they could
too
like,
obvious.
thrown it more in your face is if they did like a Dutch angle while he's talking. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, actually, it was funny because Edgar Wright in the commentary, he said that when there was a scene that Timothy Dalton's in and he's talking, and they were going to have a neon sign kind of just in the background that said bad guy, and just like thing, but he said it couldn't fit in the frame, so he couldn't do it. But because that's what he did say, like, that's what I wanted people to go. Like, I want people to know that this guy is a villain. Like, remember every time he came into frame, there's always a sinister stinger or a music that came every time he came in. It's like, what? And then the stuff he says, right? His dialogue, right? We'll get into the dialogue later, but yeah, so Timothy Dalton's in it, and Olivia Colman. I'm not sure who know who Olivia Colman is. She's like an Academy Award-winning actress now.
Oh, she's the...
she's like in The Favorite. She was in The Father with Anthony Hopkins. She's in like... She's the Queen. She's in the Queen Elizabeth show on Netflix.
She's the goofy officer.
Yeah, she's the goofy, and this is what makes it amazing with her too, is because she's always playing the Queen of England. She's playing like all these like amazing dramatic roles.
She gotta glow up, you know.
Yeah, and then in this movie, she's playing like this horny like cop that everything she says.
I'll show you around.
Yeah, she's like always saying something with some sexual innuendo, and it's just. It's cool when you see these old movies, though. You know, when you watch them when you watch it at the time, you're like, oh, okay, you see these actors and stuff. But then when you watch them again, and these actors have gotten famous, you're like, holy shit, that's Olivia Colman. She's like an Academy Award-winning actress now.
Right.
And like in this movie, she has like a bit part. And then same with Paddy Considine. Like, you seen House of Dragon? He's one of the detectives in this movie.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
He plays a detective.
Mustache Man.
Mustache Man. Yeah. He plays. He plays one half of these detectives. They're called the Andes, right? The Andrews. But he's in the House of Dragon now, the Game of Thrones, the new show. He's one of the main actors.
I've never seen Game of Thrones.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure the people in this room know who I'm talking about. But yeah, he's been in that. He's in a movie called In America, which is another great dramatic movie. But yeah, if you look at, these are just some of them. But there's like Martin Freeman's in it, Mr. Bilbo Baggins. And
at the beginning.
At the beginning, yeah. Right? Steve Coogan's in it, Stephen Merchant. Like, there's all these amazing British actors that they have like little bit parts, right? But that's another thing about this movie. Like, I think Edgar Wright did a great job on casting the actors. Because what makes this movie funny too is because it's an action movie, but it's like in a town, rustic town, and everyone's dressed up in like tweed jackets and like freaking like, you know, like normal clothing. There's no like badass like protagonists or villains and like trench coats and like
no protagonists that can run forever, hold their breath more than like 10 minutes. You know, the great thing about Hot Fuzz is like, if you just ignore the budget or the scenery, it feels like a movie that a college student or maybe someone who knows how to work a camera could make. Like, I don't know, like there was nothing amazingly aside from whatever explosions there were, but I feel like it's a very grounded and relatable movie that someone like a viewer or someone at home could possibly make.
Yeah, well,
because there's nothing fantastical or like out of reach.
No,
and it makes the digesting the entire movie very easy, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, if you're getting into that, because like this is pretty much Edgar Wright paying homage to action movies.
Right.
That's what this is. It's just a love letter to action movies, because there's every single action cliche you can think of that you watched in like the 90s and 80s of any action movie, like Lethal Weapon, Die Hard, all that, John Woo movies, whatever. It has all that in here. And it's not like making fun of it. He's just paying homage to it, and that's what makes this movie funny too, is because this all takes place in a rustic London town. It's not
love letter to action movies.
Yeah,
I agree. It's awesome.
It's great.
Job.
And he'll tell you, you think the story's going one way, and then it just goes
a different way.
It's a whole different direction. You're thinking it's this. You're like, what? And it's like not even close.
Right.
And he does it so brilliantly, and it's so funny, right? And that's what I love about this. And his editing style too. I love his editing style. You know, he does the montages and stuff like that. He does like these great like quick cuts of montage. You know, every action movie needs a montage scene, right? What's great about this is that he does a montage scene on paperwork. Because it's like, we gotta do paperwork, and then they'll do all these flash, like, badass cuts,
flipping through the files, and all
flipping
the
through files, going through newspapers, writing it down, and like all
the
this
photos, and
and it's just like, but he makes it look so cool. It's just paperwork. But
or like using even like just traditional cuts, like the quick black, the quick cut, or you know, you take one shape and then the next transition is that same shape. Like it's just like nice and simple.
His transitions are
the simple transitions. Like I feel really follow the pace of the movie. Like it's nothing.
He tells a story with his editing too. He just knows how. It's like he already envisions it when he's shooting.
Like you said, it's tight. Nothing's really wasted.
Yeah, nothing's wasted. Yeah. But the reason why he did the paperwork thing is he's so prominent in this movie though is because when he interviewed all the cops, because he had to interview a lot of cops for this just to get the whole like buddy cop stuff. He wanted to interview a lot of police officers, and a lot of them said, if we're going to do this kind of action movie, there's going to be a shit ton of paperwork. So that's why he incorporated it into it, because he's like, well, I want to make this as real as possible, so that's why he put all that paperwork stuff in there. But that's what I mean by Edgar Wright. There's so much detail in all his scenes, and this is why I love this movie. It's because it's just the paying homage to the action movies of our generation when we grew up with. It's a great buddy cop movie. The comedy is you keep laughing. I will still laugh at the stuff I've seen like 30, 40 times.
Yeah.
You know,
I remember when we were watching it, we were just fucking laughing.
Yeah,
right?
we watched it.
It's like the 80th time I've seen this movie, and I'm still laughing.
Yeah, right. It's like I just keep laughing because the jokes are just, I don't know, man. Like the way they deliver it, the way it's like set up, and the camera, like the way it's shot, like everything is just perfect about this movie. And the main reason is just the script. So like for all of you out there who haven't seen Hot Fuzz, and you like action comedies, and you like buddy cop movies, and you want to laugh, Hot Fuzz is definitely one for you. But if you're not into this kind of these kind of action movies, because you know there's people that don't like action movies, and you know,
who doesn't like a buddy cop movie, man?
Well, a lot of people don't.
I mean, I guess it's cop movie.
No, because like, you know, some people just don't like my dad. Like he doesn't like anything that has dialogue in it. It just has to have action in it.
Just action.
If shit blows up, he'll watch it, but he doesn't give a shit about like script writing and cinematography and what's this character going through, what's he going through internally and all that stuff. He's just like, if people die in it and people get shot up and there's guns and explosions, I'm all in for it. So
I mean, can you like Army of the Dead?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so earlier, if we want to get into that context, Mike and Kenny were talking about Army of the Dead and how they enjoyed it, and I fucking hate that movie. So
tune in for episode 5.
Yeah. Tune into like another episode because we'll be discussing that for sure. Actually, there's two little Easter eggs in this if people can spot it. I mean, if you Google it, you'll know, but if you watch it, see if you can find the cameos in here, which is Cate Blanchett and Peter Jackson. They're in this movie.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that, right? Yeah.
Actually, a lot of the things you just said, I didn't know. Yeah. Because again, I'm just
because I do my research and you just wing it.
Yeah, exactly. Like my voice in this podcast is just the voice of the average consumer. That's though I do know how to do my oil change and change my own brake pads.
You're right.
Average consumer.
If you're talking about like this dynamic here between us, you are like the consumer, just likes watching movies. I like watching movies too, but I like to like learn more about like, oh, how did they shoot this, or what lens did they use, and who's the director, who's the writer.
Might as well think of me as brain dead. Oh shit!
Oh, yeah. Brain dead. Oh shit! This podcast is. We'll see how many episodes we can do. But yeah, so that the thing is like is written by Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg wrote part of it too.
Oh yeah,
yeah, he wrote it.
I didn't know Simon Pegg wrote a bit of Hot Fuzz. I do know he does a bit of writing.
Yeah, he wrote. He helped co-write it with Edgar Wright. I think it took him like 8 months or something to actually fully write the whole screenplay. Like this movie it did well in the box office. I mean, it made like, I think it cost like, let me see, it cost like $8 million, I think.
How much did it make?
It made about 80 million worldwide.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so domestically, I think it made like 30 or 40 million. But here's the thing, this is a popular movie. It's not like it's like a sleeper hit or a hidden gem. People know about it. But the thing is though, the only ones that have seen it they're not the consumer people. They're the people that are like
I saw this in theaters. So
Yeah, this is like for people that love action movies or they're like cinephiles, like they're movie buffs. Because I might, when people are asking me, oh, what's your first episode going to be about? I say, oh, Hot Fuzz. They're like, what's that?
really,
Yeah, they didn't know. Like a lot of them didn't know. And they were like, these are like those regular viewers, right?
almost
The ones,
unfriend them on Facebook right now.
but they didn't know what it was. So it did do well, but a lot of people don't know about this movie, which is very
30-year
sad.
friendship over.
Yeah, pretty much.
Overrated.
Right?
What the hell?
No.
I don't care if I was your best man.
Yeah, best man, you're winning. Friends off, man. We're out of here. I'm out of here. No, that's what made me. I was shocked. So I was like, oh wow. So even though this movie did very well, it made money, it didn't bomb or anything. A lot of people still don't know about it. But
That's interesting.
I think people should check this out. Like I think you definitely check it out if you haven't seen Hot Fuzz.
2007.
Yeah, it came out in 2007. So what, 14 years ago?
Oh, that makes my knees hurt.
14 years ago.
Higher?
Oh, someone's telling me that it's higher. What do you mean?
What year? You can talk. It's okay.
17 years.
Oh wait, yeah, 17 years.
Oh.
It's 2024. Fuck my math.
Oh, right.
So
Wow.
I'm
That
here's the
flew by
thing.
my head, too.
Here's the thing. I'm Asian. I don't know my math, so that's even worse for me.
I'm Asian
you know?
and I know my math.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, we did not know our math. Like I don't know simple math.
I'm not Asian. I'm a white guy. Don't worry about it.
So like, what the hell, man? But anyways, Kenny, he's our. Actually, it's good because Kenny does a podcast, right? And he talks about finance and stuff and numbers and stuff, so he would know.
I would hope so.
So yes, 17. Yeah, if you're giving advice on finances,
Hey, earlier
better know
when
your
we
math.
we went for dinner and he divided our.
Yeah, you divided our meal.
I was like, "Yo, what's 2685 divided by 3?" He's like, I'm like, "Oh shit, it is."
Yeah, the money guy, right? But yeah, so actually, I should do with this too. A trigger warning: this movie is extremely violent. When
How would
the
you
scene,
like? It's
no,
not
the
even-
scenes that with the scenes with the if there's like a scene where someone's about to die or whatever, it's shocking how violent it is. Like when I went into the theater watching this, yeah, people get shot, whatever, blood squids, whatever. But some of the
isn't it rated 14?
it's rated 14A, but there's some scenes, right? Remember that, you know what scene I'm talking about, right? Well, I don't want to say it now,
Church?
but well, dude, spoiler,
I
dude.
didn't say anything. I just said the church.
Yeah,
The church?
yeah, the
We can
church.
cut that out. It'll be fine.
Church is chicken.
Well, I was thinking of a different scene that was
There's
pretty,
lots of
pretty crazy.
no, but in general, I'm just saying this movie when it has those scenes, they are violent. So I'm just saying that then people know that don't have an easy stomach. There are some scenes that have some brutal violence in it. I'm just letting people know.
It's crazy because like every other scene, I don't know. We'll go into that's spoiler territory.
Yeah,
I won't talk about that.
But I'm just saying, like, it's that those scenes. I'm just letting people know that if you're gonna watch it, there are some scenes that have some extreme violence in it, some gore. So it's just to that because I don't want people. I don't want to recommend a movie and then they're like, oh my god, why didn't you warn me about this?
Honestly, it's to
'cause
me
when
it's an action comedy, but
It is an action comedy. It's an action comedy. It's a mystery. It's
honestly,
everything.
there isn't that much. I've slept since then, but I feel like there's not that much action, violent action. Excuse me.
No, I'm not saying there's a lot. I'm just saying,
But there
the
is some,
scenes.
yeah.
The scenes that have it.
I just don't want you, the viewers, thinking that this is like
No, it's not.
fucking
It's not like it's not fucking Saw. I'm
Saw
not
in the
saying that.
UK where people's toes are getting split in half.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the scenes that have the violence in it are violent. That's all I'm saying.
Freddie's
dude.
just being nice to you guys. You guys
Yeah.
can stomach it. Don't worry about it.
All right, okay, if you guys get mad, just yell at Mike. Don't yell at me. 'Cause
Hey, remember he said you got to work with what you got, and Fred hired me,
I didn't hire you. I'm not paying you shit.
so it's even worse.
Yeah, it's even worse. Exactly. Exactly. I'm not paying you shit. And I think I'm getting my money's worth right now too from you, you fuck.
God damn.
What we're talking about was like this movie's paying homage to action movies, right? So because it's got every single cliche of action movies. Like, can you think of an action cliche? I guarantee you it's in this movie.
Well, the bad guys don't have beards,
Yeah, they do.
do they? I can't remember.
Well, you got the twirling mustache. Like Timothy Dalton has a mustache, the evil mustache in it, right? And
What's the action trope?
Well, okay, like firing two guns in the air, right? That's in it, right?
Oh yeah, two-handed. I
Yeah.
guess.
Is there a high pursuit chase in cars? Yes. Are they shooting out of a car? Yes.
They slide over the car hood.
Slide over the car hood, like anything you can think of. There is, and actually, he in the commentary, Edgar Wright even says he's trying to like get as much. He tried to get as many cliches as he could, especially from like Michael Bay. Like you'll see every Michael Bay cliche in this movie: the explosions, and like I'm not gonna say where or anything, but like the explosions. There's like the wraparound. What was that wraparound shot?
The Michael Bay pan.
Yeah, the Michael Bay pan is in there. Like everything. Like it's just that's what you'll laugh too, because like I said, you don't expect to see these kinds of action shots.
The hive.
Yeah, like in a pub or in like like a church, like you said. Like you don't expect this stuff. It's like what the, and then all the people in this movie, there's the cops, but then there's also the townspepeople. They're all old people with beards, or like they're just like doctors and priests and like a supermarket.
Like a town you would retire in.
Yeah, that's what makes it.
That
like,
doesn't have internet.
Yeah, it's like they're all in like their 60s and 50s and stuff, like, or 70s, like some of the actors and or stuff like that, right?
Right.
But I forgot to mention, like all the cops in this movie, besides Nicholas Angel, Simon Pegg's character, they're all like they don't do anything. They eat ice cream in the precinct and they don't do anything.
Which is crazy because it's a love letter to action films, but it has multiple dimensions to the movie. It's hard to explain until you watch it.
That's what makes it funny. It's taking this high octane action movie, but it takes place in this rustic London town, and that's already in itself funny. That's a good concept. I'm like,
Right.
oh, that's hilarious, right?
I was mentioning earlier with the little tags on the guns. Like, it's the small details.
Yeah.
And I think after your first viewing, you'll definitely agree with Freddie and I, where it's very tight, very well-rounded script and directing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's Edgar Wright.
Yeah, the devil's in the details for this movie. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But again, going back to my point is, like, it feels like a movie an aspiring college director or filmmaker could probably pull off. There's nothing.
I don't know about that, really. I mean, it looks like that, but
I'm just saying in terms of its aesthetics.
Yeah, okay.
It feels very. It doesn't feel over the top or high budget, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
yeah. But I just mean I don't think a college kid could pull off what Edgar Wright did in this movie. It's like
Maybe.
this guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
That guy.
We're old now, so we probably couldn't do it, but
What the hell does that have to do with anything? It's not about how old you are. It's about how good your movies are.
just let the AI do everything
Dude,
for you guys. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, let's not go down that rabbit hole right now. Like, seriously, man, that's AI.
I'm gonna get into the no zone now.
Oh yeah, by the way, we're not even talking. This is AI talking right now, just so you know.
I'm not real.
Yeah, we're not real.
I'm obviously not real. I'm brain dead.
Yeah.
Right?
But yeah, so you'd recommend this movie, right? Like,
Oh,
what would you give it out of 10?
So going back with Shaun of the Dead, I'd give Shaun of the Dead like an 8.5, and I would get Hot Fuzz like a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So highly recommend.
Yeah. For me, I would give this a 10 out of 10. Like, this is for me, like,
Maybe don't watch it with your kids. Maybe.
yeah, a lot of swearing in it too.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, they use the C word a lot in this movie.
Yeah.
But, in Britain,
if you're not accustomed to that
yeah,
word,
I mean, in Britain, in England, the C word's used like, they use it like for everything.
yeah, it's equivalent to when we say bitch.
Yeah, it's like, so obviously that language is going to be in there. So if you're offended by it, just be prepared, because they do drop the C word. Not a whole bunch, but it's in there. But
It's up there.
yeah, Edgar Wright even said so. Like, he said, like, yeah, we use this word in London. Like, it's like they can use it as an insult. They can use it as a term of endearment. Like, they just use this word. It's like, you can use this word as a term of endearment? How? Like what? But they can, apparently. So, but it's just, like I said, it is a British movie, so they will drop that kind of foul language in there, right? So be warned. That's all I'm saying. Just be warned. Because like I said, all three are amazing. I love all three of them, and we'll definitely be covering the other two, like Shaun of the Dead and World's End. But check this out, and and then come back and then listen to, if you haven't seen it, like I said, turn it off probably right here now, because we're going to stop it, and then we're going to get into the spoiler territory. We're going to talk about pretty much the entire movie.
You've been warned.
You've been warned.
3 seconds to pause. 3, 2, 1. right, everyone, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed your spooning. If you were alone, I hope you had some comfort food like popcorn. I don't know.
What the frick is that, dude?
Who cares what it is? I hope you enjoyed Hot Fuzz.
Spooning? What the
Spooning? You've never spooned someone while watching a movie? You have a lonely life.
Yes, I have, but I don't spoon every time I watch a movie. It's not like, hey, baby, let's just watch Saw and spoon. What the fuck? I'm just saying that's the weirdest like lead into a
There's
fucking
a little
thing.
bit of romance in this
Hey,
movie.
Welcome
There's
back, guys.
bromance, but it's
I hope you enjoyed your spooning. And like, what is that?
wow, well, this guy, man. This
What is
guy.
that? Anyway,
Anyways, I hope you
Okay.
enjoyed Hot Fuzz.
yes,
We're gonna get right into the spoiler
Yes.
territory.
We hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, we're gonna get into talk about break down some scenes, what we liked, the jokes and the dialogue. We said the jokes and the dialogue and
It's
the
mainly
payoffs.
The jokes.
Huh?
Let's not lie. This is mainly the jokes. This is why
Mainly the jokes.
This is
No.
why this movie is great.
I want and also like the plot details, like the plot payoff, like the twists.
Right.
The twists are the twist in this movie is hilarious.
It's amazing.
It's like the best twist.
Probably
ever.
one of the more unique twists in a movie I've ever seen.
Yeah. So but yeah, we'll just start from the beginning. Basically, when it comes down to Simon Pegg's character, he's apparently they actually timed it. They said that he doesn't smile in this movie until the 45-minute mark.
Damn.
Because that's
Like the
his
whole movie.
character. In the whole movie, he cracks his first smile in the 45-minute mark because that's his character. He's just this straight-edged cop.
That's probably around the second time they go out for drinks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he does the when he's talking about his
When you meet Skinner the second time? Maybe?
yeah, his third time, I
Third
think. I
time,
think
yeah.
after the first death, but yeah, he doesn't. It's when his character, him and Nick Frost's character, when him and Nicholas and Danny get to know each other more.
The non-cranberry
Yeah,
juice.
when he's actually because because Nicholas Angel, he doesn't everyone. It's funny because all the other cops, when we were saying they're all lazy, they don't do anything. They actually go to the pub for lunch and they drink. That's
Oh,
when.
didn't they close early too? Their office closed.
Well, they said that it's 11 o'clock. Guess it's lunch, right? And he's only been at the precinct for an hour. It's already lunch, and it's they go for lunch and they go to a pub, and then they start drinking, and then he just drinks cranberry juice. But yeah, so his character, I just love the character development of Nicholas Angel because even the character development is really good in this because he is the straight edge cop. He's bad with relationships, good at his job. He's very task oriented.
I think overall, most of the characters introduced have really good character development.
Even the police officers,
Yeah, even
they
the
become
villains.
late. Yeah, the villain it's
Well, the villains are more of a shadow.
yeah
Shallow character development. It's more nice
they're
people
just-
to evil people.
Yeah,
character development.
well, they're just it's just they're villains, but it's just the reason why they're villains. It's fucking hilarious,
Right.
We'll get into that, but it's the thing is with Angel, he goes from this hard ass cop to eventually, being more open to relationships and friendships and caring about people, and it's not always about the job, right? Apparently, they wrote a female romantic lead in this movie for him.
I feel like that would take it away.
Yeah, but because when we said that this movie has everything, the only thing it doesn't have is romance.
Has bromance. That's
Yeah,
what
it's
you
a
mean.
bromance. It's not a romance. No, so they had a woman cop in this as his romance, but then, like you said, it wouldn't fit. So they wrote her out, and then
That's probably the one action trope that's not in in this movie. Excuse me.
there's no romance.
No romance.
But they took some of her dialogue and they gave it to Danny. So that when you said the bromance, so there are some scenes where you think it's the way they talk. He's you just gotta, the way he's talking all sensual. Oh, you want to come in for a cup of tea? No, I'm good. Coffee? They just trying to get him to come into the house, and that was for the woman.
Beer?
Yeah, beer. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So that was meant for the woman because at the end of a date, right?
Right.
You want to come inside? You want to come
If
in
you've
for a
ever played
nightcap?
GTA, you know what we're talking about. San Andreas? Anyone? No? All right, let's
the hot coffee. yeah. You guys can Google that part, okay? I'm not even gonna go there with that. But basically, they put, it was written for a female lead. But when you hear some of the dialogue, it's you're What? That sounds so like sensual,
the,
romantic.
The peace lily thing.
Yeah, that was the peaceful
Yeah.
peace lily thing. That was for the women.
Yeah.
To buy the peace lily for women, but it was all for Danny. But that's why they merged Danny's character with her.
Going back to the peace lily, it always felt weird. I'm like, that's a little off. Obviously, this is like first viewing, second viewing, and then suddenly you're like, yeah, that makes sense. But I think it's more funny because it's funnier. Excuse me. Because it's just such an awkward thing to give another dude.
Yeah.
Which makes it like twice as funny.
Yeah, because he was talking about his own peace lily, and then Danny. Because here's the thing with Danny's character. Well, Danny's changed because Nicholas goes to become. They basically learn from each other, right? That's what happens, right? Danny becomes a better cop because of Nicholas.
Yeah, Nick takes the stick out of his ass.
Yeah.
While Danny takes that stick and beats people with it. That's essentially what they hit this crossroad
like that.
of like unison or synchronization, right?
Yeah, because like Danny's in awe of Nicholas. Like he's in awe of his like, wow, you've been you've been shot at, you've been stabbed. Like, what? You're like a super cop. So Danny's bored because he doesn't have to do any of that because he's a cop in a small town with no violence, no crime, supposedly, right? And but it's great how their characters both have that arc, right?
Right.
They learn from each other. And then Danny becomes a great cop, and Simon Pegg knows how to become it's not always about the job.
Less Terminator 800.
Yeah. He smiles more and shit, right? But I don't know. It's just the dynamic of those two. It's just it's good. It's a great buddy cop movie. It's not just funny. It has some heart to it too.
They did such a good job of making Simon Pegg look like a badass too. He doesn't come across to me. Like, he comes across as like the nicest dude.
Yeah, Simon
He
Pegg.
probably is the nicest dude, and then he made him a badass. Like the one scene, buys the sunglasses and he has the toothpick in his mouth. You're like, yeah, he's ready, man. Let's go. I've been waiting for this.
Oh yeah, because I'm like, Simon Pegg is an action hero. I'm like, I don't know, but like, because he doesn't come across as that. But he's been in the Mission Impossible, Star Trek. So he's just a good action comedy star. He can play anything really. I think Simon Pegg's just a really good actor.
I can't remember what I first saw him in, but yeah, he's just played like your.
Well, the first movie I saw him in was Shaun of the Dead. But
he's like an early. I can't remember what it is. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but man, like when it comes to like the payoffs now, like fuck. Like the setups of the jokes.
Oh yeah, can we talk about that beginning gag with the "How's your hand?"
Oh yeah, still a bit stiff.
Yeah, a bit stiff. The gags in this movie are amazing.
Yeah, actually, the detail, like you actually see the scar on his hand from the stab too. Like later, like throughout the movie, you'll see the scar.
Detail.
Yes, attention to detail.
The whole movie is.
Yeah.
I think this is the first 5 minutes, excuse me, where it really sets up the attitude and the atmosphere of the movie. Just in that. Office scene where he's getting transferred, right?
Yeah, well, they explain his whole character at the beginning, like how good he is at everything. Marksman.
Making everyone look bad, man.
Yeah. Well, it's just cool how they, at the beginning, like you said, where they show a montage of all his training, of what he does. Like, he's good at marksman. He's good at
life.
Driving. He's good at everything. Because they set that up brilliantly so that at the end, when the big action piece comes in, you can like, oh yeah, he's good at all that stuff. Marksman.
Like, the big one to me in that whole earlier montage is like he folds up his pajamas on his bed or something like that. I think
he's very meticulous. He's very meticulous.
You're like, yeah, okay, that's his character.
Like you said, he's just.
It's something in literally a montage shot of maybe 2-3 seconds. It told you so much about Nick's character.
Mm-hmm. He's all about the job. Everything has to have a process.
Which I feel like is lost in a lot of movies where they have all this like exposition and they have to. I know it's a different time where viewers want to be told what the fuck's going on instead of piecing it together, but like that 3 seconds saved 10 minutes of useless garbage.
Well, yeah, you already, as soon as this movie starts, you already know, okay, Nicholas Angel, he's a badass cop.
Right.
Done. All right, now let's get to the jokes now. Let's get to the movie. Let's get to the story. And it's like, when he's like, oh, we're transferring you. You're being promoted, and he's like, "Oh, great!" And then the way he answers, he's like, "I understand." Like he already knows. He knows he's so good. He's like, "Yeah, I know." But he just says like, "I understand," but it's just because he knows he's being promoted because he's like the best cop in London.
I just like the. Oh, you want to speak with the supervisor? Yeah. You want to speak to him?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to speak to the chief?
Yeah, it's funny because it's played by Martin Freeman's the first guy, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, "We're transferring you. That's great." 2 cents first class. He just whispers like the town name. He's like, to where? To Sanford. Where, Gloucester? Gloucester? But anyways, just the way he says, just because he knows he's transferring to a shit town. He doesn't want to say it, and that's what makes it funny. And then he's like, oh, I want to stay here and all that stuff. But then he's like, yeah, you want to speak to, you want me to get the supervisor? And then it's another guy cameo, Steve Coogan, who's another comedic, like British comedian, right? Steve Coogan. And then they get the chief inspector. He's like, you want me to take this to the top? You want me to bring the chief inspector all the way down here? Yes, I do. He just yells out the room, Kenneth, and he just walks in.
How's the hand?
Yeah, each of them see how's the hand, right? You know what's funny about those two cameos, Martin Freeman and Bill Nighy? You know who Bill Nighy is? He's the actor that played
the dad in Shaun of the Dead.
Dad in Shaun of the Dead, the stepdad in Shaun of the Dead, and he played Davy Jones in the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, I didn't know that was him until someone told me. Like, what the?
So that's him. But it's just cool because if you look at Martin Freeman, he's in all the Cornetto trilogies, right? And if you look at Bill Nighy, he's in all three too. The funny thing with Martin Freeman is his role gets bigger as the movies progress. Because in the first Shaun of the Dead, he was just like in it for like 2 minutes, and then in this one, he's in it for like 5, and then he's got a supporting role in World's End. He's one of the friends. Yeah. And then Bill Nighy, his is the opposite. His gets shorter. Yeah, because he goes from like, he's a stepdad who has a prominent role. Then he's in like the chief inspector who's got like 5 minutes, and then he's just the voice in World's End. He's just a voice, and I don't know if Edgar Wright planned it like that or anything, but this is a lot of things that fans notice, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty funny. Like, that's hilarious. Like the way they just,
I didn't even know until you mentioned it on our review viewing before the podcast.
Yeah. I just found it funny because I'm like, that is true. One actor's role gets bigger and the other actor's role gets less big. It's just like, what? But yeah, but like the jokes, like what is your favorite? Well, like tell me what facing. Yeah, any gags.
Oh my god, the goose is hilarious.
Oh, the swan.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, the swan. Yeah, the swan. Excuse me, the swan, the wall gag.
Oh, the wall.
Movies.
Yeah,
that's consistent through all 3 movies.
Oh yeah, the wall gag. Yeah, I love
spoilers for all 3 movies. I guess because
that's not really.
Church is a spoiler, but wall gag is not.
Oh my god.
I'm a meathead.
I didn't say you're a meathead. But if you want to call yourself that, that's on you. No, but yeah, the wall gag is pretty funny.
Yeah, the swan. That was just. So what does it look like? A swan?
I like the build up to that swan joke first when because basically he's not, Nicholas is obviously not well liked. Remember, he's not, like, all the cops hate him and stuff like that. So he thinks he's getting pranked when he's like. When he answers the phone, he's like, "Oh, the swan's missing again." "Oh, really? The swan?" Mm-hmm. He's like, "Where's it been missing?" "Oh, it's been shot." "Uh-huh, really? What's your name?" My name's Peter Ian Staker." "Peter Ian Staker? P.I. Staker? Piss Taker? Come on!" Right? And then it cuts to him going, "Okay, yes, Mr. Staker." Like, so what does the swan look like? It's actually a real guy, but he thinks that someone's like playing a prank on him. Because the piss taker is a slang for taking a piss. You're taking a piss. You're making fun of me or whatever, right? I just found that funny because you think P.I. Staker, piss taker, come on.
Again, it's like none of it's wasted because the swan is pretty much, once they introduce that swan, it's pretty much
it's prominent. And because it helps catch the bad guy at the end.
Right.
The swan is the one that stops the bad guy at the end of the movie. Yeah, in the car.
It's so funny because like you would expect some like wild crash, but it just hits this tree. Yeah. And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but it's funny because it's like you think the swan's just a gag, but it's actually part of the story. Like the swan is, like I said, pops up throughout the whole movie, but then he actually is the one that stops the main bad guy. And you're like, amazing. What the hell? And that's one of the payoffs, right?
The wall gag, the swan, and I'm just trying to think.
And like,
aside from like the congruent like dialogue that's repeated, like that's always good.
Yeah, I like the what's it called? The bin. The flying bin to the head.
Yeah. Motherfucker.
Oh, no. Yeah, because he's like... Because those two detectives, the Andrews, they're like the detectives of the town. And they're just like the laziest detectives ever. But because I remember they're introducing them to Nicholas Angel at the beginning. Remember, he's like, these are the Andes. He's like, and there's a reason. You want to know why we call them the Andes? Because they're both called Andrew. Very good. He's like, and then Nick Frost is like, oh, so it's always an uphill struggle trying to talk to them, right? And then you see that bin just hit him right in the fucking head, and just boom, and it's just the way he reacts. It's just like, fuck off. And I'm just like, I will always laugh at that scene, no matter how many times I watch it. I'll rewind it and watch it over because that flying bin, like you couldn't expecting it.
I always laugh at that bar scene with the two brothers where one of them like leans back in. And
Yeah.
like, God, the meme from that is amazing.
Yeah, and then that bin also pays off at the end. Remember, Simon Pegg does it.
Yeah.
And he throws it at that guy's head, and he falls into the mine, and it blows up. Remember?
Yeah.
It's like
the
so,
very-
like it's like it's
the
a funny
surveillance guy.
Yeah, it's a funny ass joke, but at the same time, it's part of the story. Like this is what I mean, where the script is so tight because it's like it's
If
not,
nothing's wasted.
yeah, nothing's wasted. It's not just for the joke. It's like, hey, this is part of the story, by the way, you know. And apparently, because you know that there's that reporter or that journalist. Remember the one that. The church scene.
The church scene, the spoilers,
Yeah,
guys. The
the
biggest
spoilers.
spoilers in the entire fucking movie.
Oh
The
my
church
god!
scene.
It's like it's,
I'm not gonna let this go.
Jesus. I know he's not gonna let this go, right?
I'm not gonna let this go.
God damn. So anyway, like
Go on with the church scene.
no, because the journalist, or the reporter, he always has
Hi.
Yeah, hi. He always has those misspellings in his paper. Remember?
Angle.
Angle and bypass is spelled with an I instead of a by.
Yeah.
So apparently, like when people watched it, they were. Edgar Wright was like, he got like some people saying, "Oh, you messed up on this newspaper. It's spelled wrong." He's like, "No, motherfucker, this is part of the movie."
Imagine.
Yeah, because I think one of the crew members was like, "Oh, just so you know, your newspaper spelled wrong." He's like, "Yeah, I know. It's part of the movie, right?" And like that's. But the funny thing with that is like, even though those, because when they're talking about the newspaper thing, it's like, you know, when it goes to the end, it's like that's one of the reasons why he died, kind of thing.
Right.
You know, like that. It's just like I said, every little thing,
The conspiracy.
yeah,
to
the whole
it,
conspiracy,
the whole reason.
and that's another. Dude, that is the best thing. It's like the whole conspiracy thing. Like basically, when all these people are dying, right, brutal deaths, and then I love how all the townspeople always think it's like, oh, it's an accident. It's an
She
accident.
fell on her shears, did she? You're like,
No.
what? Who falls on their
No.
shears?
No, what made that so funny too? That part is that when she gets stabbed with the shears. And then when they get to the aftermath of the crime scene, and then you see her dead body, like, with the thing sticking out, and then the guy saying, "So you're saying this wasn't an accident?" And then you just see Simon Pegg just like rolling his eyes, like, "Duh." That made it. It's just like I said, the way
The
he's-
comedy in that is
Yeah,
like
the way-
golden.
yeah.
The writing is golden as it is.
So
Because
you're,
like
yeah, so you're saying
the
this
serious
wasn't-
scene, they're just like, what?
Yeah, and it's just like I mean, the delivery and the camera setup and everything is just perfect. But like, oh man. What's another one? There's the
Like even like there's even comedy. It's not as funny or as blatant, but even there's a bit of comedy in when they're showing the villains and how they were working as a group. Because I thought it was just hilarious
Yeah.
that Simon Pegg, being as meticulous as he is, didn't notice that one guy in the cloak off to the side while the other one's running the field.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's pretty funny. Like he's losing his edge. Like I don't know, like maybe
Well, it's-
maybe I'm looking too much into it,
No,
but something like that. Like
I think it's more. I found it funny because he comes up with this conspiracy crime, and it actually makes sense. Though you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. This was something you would kill people for, and all this stuff. You're thinking, yeah, that is part of what's going on. He is a
with
smart
the
guy.
property and
Yeah, and then you find out it has nothing to do with that. It's
Yeah.
all about them wanting to win Village of the Year.
yeah,
It's
but like
oh,
going back, they're talking about Nick like, dude, you're always on edge. Like there's no crime here, right?
Yeah.
And it kind of like reflects that he didn't notice that there's someone just standing to the left of him because
Yeah.
he tunnel visioned on the person
Yeah.
with the cloak. So I thought it was
I
something
just-
very interesting
yeah,
just to look at.
no, that makes sense. No, I just always thought it was funny how it's like you have this huge conspiracy and it totally makes sense, but then it's like you're with Simon Pegg on this, like, oh yeah, he solved it. That's totally what this is, and then you find out no, it's like I killed that guy because he has spelling mistakes in the newspaper.
Right.
I killed this person because
Because they're
she's
annoying.
yeah,
I
because she had an
killed-
annoying
I killed
laugh.
these teenagers because they were underage drinking.
Yeah.
Oh god damn.
It's like yeah, it's like the most mundane things, right? And that's what made it funny because you're like, oh my god, we made up this whole conspiracy and it had nothing to do with it,
Right.
right? And that's like, oh, we killed him because he's a horrible actor. We didn't like this person's house, so we blew it up with him in it. Like it's just like
He didn't fit with the appeal of the neighborhood.
the rustic appeal, right? And it's all because of like they want to win Village of the Year and they want to keep it, right? And that's what made it funny because you're like thinking, oh, huge conspiracy. No, it's just about the Village of the Year award,
Right.
and these deaths were like all meaningless, and like to them, it's like, oh yeah, Like this is important to us.
They deserve
and that's what I liked about it too. 'Cause
the fucking statue, the human statue.
Yeah, the human statue.
So funny.
yeah, and like Timothy Dalton, you're like, yeah, he is the villain, but he is the villain, yeah. But then there's also 10 other villains in the movie, right? There's like all of them, the entire
Like 17 of them or something.
yeah, and it's just like holy crap, like what? Not just one killer. There's like 10 of them. You know, the whole entire town committee is in on this, right? And that's why they were able to get away with all these things and have alibis.
Oh,
and,
the shoplifter too.
yeah,
Just taking
killed the
cookies.
shoplifter.
That's the one thing that didn't make sense. I'm like, why are you stealing cookies?
Yeah, right. But no, that's what makes this movie. I don't know. That's what I loved about this movie too. It's just the whole twist of that, and like just like the twins. You don't know they're twins.
Oh yeah, the officer.
The officers. He's like,
Why doesn't anyone tell me anything?
he's like, where is he? I don't know. Nobody tells me nothing. And then he's like, what? And then later on, you find out, yeah, they're twins.
Yeah.
And they're like, they're also on different shifts, and because their hair is different.
Which makes sense because the night
Yeah.
shift sucks.
Yeah. He's like, I don't know. Nobody tells me nothing. I don't know. And then like I love the Andes. The Andes are my favorite. The
Andes.
characters. They're just funny.
Skinner's my favorite.
Yeah, Skinner's. Yeah, he's great. I just like the Andes band, like the way they just like when they meet Simon Pegg or Nicholas Angel, and like, oh, you came here to, you know, or you didn't want to upset the apple cart, did you? And then Nick Frost is like, your dad sells apples and raspberries. So it's just like these little drops of joy, and raspberries. Or he's like, everyone in this town is packing. Everyone and their mums are packing. Oh, yeah, like who? Farmers. Who else? Farmers' moms.
It ends up being
And
true.
then there's that payoff because later on you see the farmer,
Mom!
and then he yells out to his mom who has a fucking shotgun, tries to kill him.
Hits that
and then he
sign,
drop
the
kicks,
traffic
and he drop kicks her in the face, and you're just like, well,
Mistletoe kick.
yeah, but that's another payoff to a joke that you think it's just a joke, but it's like farmer and the farmer's mom all packing guns, and it's just like, what the hell, man, like. I don't know how they. Oh man, this script is
So
just
good.
crazy.
Especially
man.
prior to that, it was that one farmer. He's like, "You got a license for that? I got one for this one." What do you mean by this one?
Yeah.
It's fucking the whole Matrix artillery white room.
Yeah.
Fucking.
And then
what
there's
the hell
and
is
then,
this?
and then there's the payoff to that because that's where he gets his guns at the end of the movie to do the action scene.
So the tags I was mentioning earlier.
Oh yeah, I didn't
Guys,
notice this till you told
in
me
the
this.
grocery store. Not a lot of people. I guess Freddie didn't notice.
I didn't notice that.
I love how they kept the tags on the guns after they put them in storage.
Yeah,
And
because they're
he's
evidence.
like,
The
"What?"
evidence tags.
Yeah, the evidence tag. He's like, what? And then you we paused it and there's like clear tags
Yeah.
on.
All the guns they're carrying had like the evidence tags, and I'm like, oh my god, I didn't even notice that. And I'm like, that's a brilliant detail. I've watched this movie like so many times. I'm like, how did I miss that? That's
It makes
crazy.
sense because like if I needed guns, fuck the tags. Like I'll just keep them on. I just need to
Yeah.
shoot people.
Yeah, it still works.
Right.
But no, that's like I said, great detail, right? They don't even that whole Romeo and Juliet, the play, you know, when they're having that whole like when they're doing the two bad actors, remember, like they're just whole bad, and then they killed them for it, right?
Yeah.
But then later in the scene, there's just this little quick shot, a 1 second scene of the convenience store, and it has a new poster for Romeo and Juliet, and it's got the two new actors on
The
it.
two actors, right. I was like, where are you going with
the
this?
the ones that they wanted in the movie, in the
replaced-
play,
yeah.
they replaced them. You actually see a poster of the new actors in it now, and it's like the new
Wasn't
play.
that like some weird thing with one of the actors? Like, oh yeah, he played a dead
He played
body.
he played an extra on Straw Dogs, and she played a cadaver on
Yeah.
like some crime thing, and it's like they're not even actors, they're like fucking
just extras.
You're like a dead body and an extra, like, and then they make it sound like they're like DiCaprio and like fucking like Julia Roberts or something. It's like they're just it's an extra and one played a dead body. Like who can't do that?
I just always thought that was funny. I'm like,
It is funny.
those guys aren't actors.
Yeah, they just but it's funny how they just make a big deal. It's like, oh, this person was an extra in Straw Dogs, and she was a cadaver and criminal something or whatever. You're just like, what? But no, and then later on, you've seen the poster after the two other actors that got killed because they did such a bad job to play. You see the poster, just a quick second of the two new actors, and it's
Fuck, I
hilarious.
thought their death was brutal, man. That was when you were talking about violence. I thought that was one of the scenes you were talking
Oh,
about.
that was brutal
earlier.
too. They're all brutal.
You don't see it per se, but like I wasn't expecting in the theater because that's one of the earlier kills, right?
Yeah, this is the first one.
like,
It was the first murder.
oh, road accident, and then you see the heads. I'm like, God damn!
Yeah.
What the?
Yeah.
Where am I right now?
I loved every time there was a murder, Timothy Dalton would always drive by. What's going on? He always be playing a music referencing.
Dude, his
something.
whole like when they introduced him,
Yeah.
he's like
Like the-
lock me up.
Yeah.
I'm a murderer.
Yeah.
He's like,
No,
what?
I'm a slasher.
Oh, I'm a slasher.
Of prices.
Prices.
And he's like, my prices are criminal. Catch you later. And he's running down.
Right. No, his nickname is Sissy or
Yeah,
whatever.
Sissy Skinner. Yeah, because but no, it's just every time he rolled up to the crime scene, he'd always be playing a song that's referencing something like
Like
the
what
first one was
happened?
Romeo. No, the first one was like Romeo and Juliet song. The second one was Fire, burn everything down
Yeah,
or something. It's just a song about fire, and then that's when the house blew up and burnt down. So he's just driving. He always gets that sinister like look, like
I just
I am the villain. You just can't prove it.
I
kinda
just
look.
loved how it like just oozed out of the screen that he was having a good time with that role.
Oh yeah, he's
Right.
Timothy Dalton. No, he stole every scene in there. Like even when he was like smiling, and then you see the picture of him in the back, and it's the same smile.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Where he's like,
Yeah, he's like,
Tilts his head.
here's the surveillance tape. Feel free to spool through, and he smiles, and then the
the-
exact same,
employee of the year.
yeah, same picture in the back, and it's just like, oh my god, that's so funny, and just like. Oh man, like there's so much, like so many jokes, and like I said, I cannot catch all of them. I had to catch. There's so many I had to catch
Probably have to watch it like
5-6 times. Like even the when he's like, "You want to be a big cop in a small town? Fuck off the model village." Remember that?
Oh yeah.
And then they fight at the end in a model village.
Yeah, and then he gets the spike through his
Yeah, and he gets a
throat.
spike through, and that's funny too. because-
Really hurts.
oh, that was pretty violent too.
Yeah,
that was brutal.
that was the second one. I
Yeah,
was
well,
like, is
no,
that
all of
one?
it. No,
That was
all-
pretty brutal because
no.
he like.
all those scenes are brutal. Like they're not.
I was just thinking of it as just at our times where a lot of us are desensitized to CG.
Yeah, man. I don't know. When I saw that for the first time, like even the whole theater,
Like first
all
time
the
I saw
death
Saw,
scenes.
I'm like, oh my god, and then watching Saw at home, I'm like eating dinner. I'm like, dude, I'm hungry, man. You want to order a pizza? You know?
Yeah.
The first viewing, I guess. First viewing, always
Yeah.
shocking. Afterwards, it's just like I'm just numb to it.
Yeah, but even and then there's the Aaron A. Aronson joke.
Yeah, the
It's
kid.
like the kid. What because he's like when they're trying to you have to like interview the suspects, and they're like, you want us to like go through the whole phone book? Yeah, you want us to start with Aaron A. Aronson, and then Simon Pegg's like, oh, whatever, like stop joking around, and then at the end it was like. What's your name, kid? What's your name, son? Aaron A. Aronson.
Aaron A.
It's like-
Harrison.
Yeah, it's just a little thing. It's
Why
like
is a
not
kid
even,
in the phone book?
yeah, why is a kid in the phone book? But at the same time, that's the payoff again. It's like this little thing that he mentions at the beginning of the movie, and all of a sudden, the guy's name is Aaron A. Aronson. It's like, fuck, this guy is just
Amazing.
Like they had every joke planned out. It seems like there was no like wasted.
No wasted like one liner.
No wasted.
At first, it feels like a wasted one liner until you
Yeah.
get to the end.
even the hag and fascist joke.
Hag.
Fascist. You see, that's what made it funny too. Is you see these 70-year-old people shooting like machine guns.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like they're like 70, 80-year-old.
Or like when they're talking like, oh, maybe he has a gun under his trench coat, and he's like,
Yeah, and
he's 70 years old. He's just going out for a
Treacher.
walk. Yeah, Treacher.
Yeah, he's like,
And he fucking pulls out this like World War II gun. I'm
Yeah.
like, what the?
well, yeah, it was a shotgun, right?
Was it a shotgun? I thought it was
He
a-
just pulled up the shotgun and just all the
can't
trench coat
remember
and
what it
just
was.
yeah, because and it's funny because Nicholas did predict that. He's like, he may have a gun under there. He's like him, Mr. Treacher. It's like an old guy, and that's what made it funny too. Is the villains are freaking in the like 50s and 60s, and like they're and then the lady on the bicycle. And then she opens up her
she's
bike
like Kimboing.
basket. No,
Like
she-
Kimboing.
Yeah. And then she's got like a
No
thermos.
handlebars.
She's got a thermos in the middle, and then the two guns beside it. And she just starts shooting it, right? And he's just like,
gets laid out by a cop door.
well, apparently, Edgar Wright was that was paying homage to Desperado. You know how the guitar case, just making fun of the guitar case.
yeah.
So that was his homage to like Desperado and stuff. Because apparently Robert Rodriguez he scored 2 scenes, like he did the music for some of the scenes in there. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah. So he did music, and you're just like, but that's his homage to Desperado, and a funny homage because it's a freaking bike basket, thermos, and 2 little guns, right? And you're just like, what? And that makes it even funnier, right? And then the old lady,
dinky guns.
yeah, like that old lady, the hag lady, when she had that huge like World War II
She
machine
had
gun.
machine gun.
Yeah, and she was
I can't
just
remember the
yeah,
all the firearms that you.
but it was like a World War II machine gun. It looked like one because it had like the magazine on the side.
Yeah.
You know, once you pull the side, like that's not like a modern gun. That's from like, and it probably from her era. She probably bought that in like
It's new when she was young.
yeah, it was new for her when she bought it probably. But that's what made it funny in the Reverend,
Right.
you know, and he's like,
What did he have? Did he have a
he had like
pistol?
he
in
had
the sleeve?
he had this yeah. That's another action cliche. The pistols coming out of the sleeves.
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, and
Brotherhood
it's just
pistol.
funny because he's like, "Stop the violence." He's like, "I may not know." What did he say?
Children, stop the violence.
And he's like, "I may not know. This is not the way." He's like, "I may not know. I do know what way is wrong." Oh, fuck off, grasshopper! And he just fucking pulls up the guns and shoots him. Like, it's just stuff like that. That's what makes this movie so funny. I thought it was just, I've never seen something like this before. Old people, in
Which is
action
crazy.
movie.
Like, I don't think any of. Oh yeah, none of them died except for the guy with the mine, right?
yeah, at the end he blew himself up.
They all
right?
get the mug shots.
yeah, they all get the mug
Skinner
shot.
still has the thing in his neck. So savage, you didn't even take it. I was like, nah, you gotta take your
You
finger,
gotta take
bro.
your mugshot, asshole. It's funny because he still had the fucking bandage. Right? Even and then the guy had the bear trap fall on him too, right? That was
Yeah.
brutal. But then none of them died except for
Oh, is it a bear trap? Oh yeah, the hanging bear
the
trap.
hanging bear
yeah,
trap
yeah.
on the
I thought it was
bar.
the chandelier that fell.
no. It's yeah.
Yeah, I thought he would die. His was the
Yeah,
worst one.
This was the
Like,
worst.
Pink. Ah!
Oh, I don't know. I think Timothy Dalton got it the worst.
But you're getting it both sides.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Surprised he lived.
Yeah. Well, he had the fucking bandage on his head, right? But yeah, it's true that no one died except for the main.
The guy who
the
didn't
surveillance guy.
shoot a single gun
No, he
dies.
did. He shot Danny at the end.
Oh, right.
Yeah, with the blunderbuss or whatever the thing.
The musket.
Yeah, the musket, whatever the hell that is. That's what
Black
makes
powder
it's like
pirate pistol.
you got these like old school guns. This is like, what the hell, man? Where are all the modern
What,
guns?
you gonna reload now?
Well, it does make sense because the guy did find all the guns. Remember when they brought it into evidence? Those are all guns he found. So maybe they found a fucking musket or some shit.
Pirate pistol.
But
So
man,
funny.
yeah, so there's just so much. Like I don't know. Like if people, hopefully you guys watch this movie and that you let us know in the comments like what you thought of it, and if you did watch it, like. You know,
Did you have a good time? Give us a rating.
Let me know what your favorite scenes were or anything we missed. But actually, if you do watch the commentaries, if you buy the Blu-ray or whatever, or the DVD if you have it, they have the commentaries in there. They have like 5 of them. One with like...
Isn't this one special with Quentin Tarantino?
Yeah, so this one has one with Quentin Tarantino. And that is a rare thing because Tarantino, he doesn't do commentaries for his movies. Like... I looked at I own all his movies and I looked at all the special features. He doesn't do commentaries. There's only 2 that I've seen with him on it. I'm sure there's more, but the only 2 I've seen is for Hot Fuzz and the other one's for True Romance. Right? And he didn't direct that one, he just wrote it. Right? Tony Scott wrote it.
I didn't like True Romance.
I know you didn't.
It's not I didn't like it. I just felt like it was overhyped by the time I saw it.
Yeah. I don't know. I think True Romance is an amazing movie. It's a masterpiece. And John agrees to me, our cameraman. He agrees.
Fuck you, John.
Yeah, but if you ever want to check out Tarantino and Edgar Wright talking about the movie, then because Tarantino, I think when he saw this movie, he like loved it. Like it was one of his favorite movies of that year. So
It's one of my favorite movies.
yeah, so it was. So if you do ever have a chance to listen to the commentaries, they're really good. You get to find out how Edgar Wright did some, like how he directed some scenes and the screenwriting part of it, the acting and all that. But yeah, I don't know. This movie is just, I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's just
an A-tier movie.
It's just I'm just very shocked that not many people have heard of this movie.
Let us know if
'Cause-
you've ever heard about Hot Fuzz, if you watched it, if you liked it.
Yeah,
Let us know your thoughts.
because we want to shine a spotlight on this movie again. Like let's make this movie popular again.
What the podcast is about.
Yeah.
Or maybe rag. Freddie might rag me for liking a movie in the future. Who knows?
Or you might rag me for hating a movie in the future. I don't know.
I know John wants to rag on us for liking Doom.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into
Okay.
Doom later.
guys don't need-
Not Dune, not the Dune movie. That
Oh, we're talking about
Doom.
Dwayne the Rock
D-O-O-M.
Johnson's Doom. Doom with
based,
an M.
based on that first-person shooter video game.
DOOM. M standing for masterpiece. I can see John shaking his head.
Yeah,
That was the best movie.
yeah. We'll get into Doom because hopefully we'll get different sides to this movie because to be honest, that movie is super hated. Okay,
Oh, I know why,
I'll
dude.
admit, I know why, but yeah, you're right. I love that movie. I don't know why, but Hot Fuzz very different. The Hot Fuzz is a good movie. And,
Yeah,
and if you already watched it, I'm sure you'll agree. I mean, I don't know many people that have seen this movie. They're saying they didn't like it. Actually, I don't think I've ever heard anyone say they didn't like this movie.
I didn't know anyone did not see this movie. That's always new to me.
What,
John,
you
have you seen Hot Fuzz?
Yeah. Many times.
Oh no, a lot of people. Like I said, the only people that have seen it are people that like. I'm talking about it's like just some people that just haven't. They're not like movie goers. They just like to watch movies as like a
So me?
like an off time. No, you watch a lot of movies.
Yeah, I do watch a lot of
I'm talking about people that just like just like when they're picking movies, they're not going to pick Hot Fuzz. It's not a, you know what I mean? It's not like
Oh, like at a
blockbuster.
theater?
Yeah, like
kind
you're
of thing?
like you're a standard moviegoer. It's not like a movie for like, oh yeah, we gotta go see Hot Fuzz because I hear it's great. It's not like that.
Yeah, to be fair, that's how I felt about
It's only for movie buffs, really. Hot Fuzz is more for like people that are in the movie realm that love movies.
I could relate to that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why I was excited for Hot Fuzz, but when I saw trailers for Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, I was like, that movie kind of looks lame. But then we ended up going. My buddy paid for my ticket. I was like, oh, that movie's actually really fucking
Yeah,
banger.
Edgar Wright, right?
Yeah.
It's like, and that movie bombed in the theater.
Did it actually?
Yeah, it did.
Oh,
Unfortunately.
Is that considered like a cult classic now?
Yeah, it's called classic.
Yeah, because Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is really good.
Yeah, it's a great movie. It's Edgar Wright too. Baby Driver's great.
Baby Driver's really
Baby Driver. Like Edgar Wright has done some really good movies. He's I find to be like a master at the craft. And when you have Nick Frost and Simon Pegg in it with you, like those three together, they make comedy gold, man. Like seriously, their movies are just check them out. Like if after you watch Hot Fuzz and you love it, and if you haven't seen Shaun of the Dead or World's End, check those out too, because man, they're all amazing. They're all funny, but like you, Hot Fuzz is my favorite, and then Shaun of the Dead, and then World's End.
Mine's, yeah, same.
All right, so
But at World's End is way lower on the scale of rating for me. But again,
we'll get into it.
I
Next time.
didn't know there were aliens. Okay,
Yeah,
this is like
we'll be covering.
don't
those.
judge me.
I'm not judging you. We'll cover those movies.
I can see those eyes.
I'm gonna judge you when we actually make that episode. So don't worry. I'm not gonna judge you.
What was
now.
that? Yeah, no, there's probably plenty of movies I really liked and you hated.
Oh yeah, there is, and then we'll get into those too. But yeah, well, I hope you enjoyed the episode. I mean, if there's anything you want to add there, Mike.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. Definitely give Hot Fuzz a run for its money. Next episode is likely to be Collateral. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so. With Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx, and another great movie that I think, well, one of my favorites, anyways. Directed.
It's okay.
Okay. Anyway, well, maybe I'll just cover it by myself. I don't know, but yeah. Well, the next one will be Collateral, and actually, it'll be released the same time as this one, so you can just listen to it right after this one. So. Right?
Perfect.
But yeah, we'll stay tuned. We're going to have many more movies to discuss, and we hope that you enjoyed it, and let us know what you thought. So this is Wong, and this is Wong is Right on Movies.
With me, Brain Dead,
No.
Mike. We'll see you guys later.
Yeah, we'll see you later. Have a good one.
Ciao.
Element, this is Rock. Trailers notified.
Trailers notified.
Damn, that scared the fuck out of me.
I saw you flick so hard. That's kind of funny.
Shit.
Yeah, did you check the side of the building here? Sometimes there's a guy with a shotgun outside.
Okay, I'll walk around.
Oh my god.
No one.
Okay, I'm gonna grab this guy and make sure he doesn't get shot here.